only got one night, just put your trust in me. Give me everything, I need your love tonight. So baby, please don't fight it. Put your trust in me, I'll give you everything. So hold
dudes. So I spent the whole weekend sick in bed, didn't record a thing. Probably tell my voice is a little different. Basically I have like beginning of bronchitis, end of bronchitis. Anyways, I've been sick for like a week and a half. Gonna get to work a bit on the Lexus. I fixed actually the alternator problem yesterday. I had the wrong wire for sense. I thought the diagram I had was for the female side. So if it's 4 pins, female side, this one, it would have been sense, but it's not actually that one. It's the one here, so it's actually this one here. So anyways, fix that. We got a good 14.6 volts at the alternator and a 14.4 or 14.3-ish at the battery, which is actually pretty good. Chopped off my shifter because I'm going to be doing a new shifter. Took off my clutch pedal because the bolt that I had welded to the frame up here unwelded because it was just like small tack welds. And the other thing is I'm going to make a plate that goes on top of this to make this a full, because I don't know if you guys can see that, but basically the only thing touching the firewall were these 2 points. And with the beams it was fine because the clutch was actually really soft, but with the 4G63 it's actually quite a stiff pedal, so the firewall is flexing a bit. What I'm going to need to do is make a plate that goes on top of this that makes it flush. So I could do that or just chop these off, but I like the distance of where the clutch pedal is, so I'm going to make a plate that goes on top of this. And yeah, we're going to be doing that this week at work. I'm going to re-weld this. I might actually make a better bracket that like plate welds to the frame. And if I don't like the pedal pressure, over the winter I can always put a Willwood clutch pedal with I think it's a bigger reservoir that makes the clutch pedal more spongy, if you will. It makes it more soft, since it's actually a pretty stiff clutch that I have. A nice ACT extreme duty clutch pressure plate. The pressure plate is really stiff. I got my new 50 mil wastegate in the mail today from my tuner, so I'm going to be taking the turbo out. I got my new 50 mil wastegate in the mail today, so I'm going to be taking the turbo out, and we're going to be getting the piping all done on that this weekend, and then that'll be done. I have my power steering pump to install still. I have to make a bracket for that, and what else? I want to make a steel bracket for my throttle because right now it's aluminum and it's flexing a lot. I think that is it, so I'm going to set you guys up for a little time lapse of taking off the turbo. Alright, so got the turbo off. I think I figured something out here. So, I don't know if you guys could see that when I took it off. Showed it briefly. You can definitely tell that the external wastegate was leaking right there. I think that's my bad. Because the external wastegate seems fine. And then I had put this little ring because I thought this is where that went, and I guess it wasn't sitting flush, so it was definitely leaking, and that's probably why I was having over boosting. I didn't need to buy a 15 mil Turbo Smart, but what the hell, I got it. Let's install it. Hey guys, so I know I missed last Wednesday's video. Basically I've been sick for the past 2 weeks pretty much, and last Wednesday I went to the hospital to get checked out by a doctor. Thursday I had to go back because they wanted x-rays and they were already closed because I went after work. Missed work on Thursday, and so yeah, I ended up having a bronchitis, and they gave me some medication with 2 pumps and stuff, antibiotics. One of the pumps that you're supposed to take at the same time as the antibiotics. I've been having these little fits, if you want. Like I'll start coughing, and then like I'll almost pass out, and like I'll get like tunnel vision, blurry, and I'll just get super weak. It was happening a lot when I was trying to sleep. It was also making me feel like I wanted to vomit and nausea and everything. I was actually with Joe yesterday, and I was fine. I was like this. All of a sudden, I coughed like 2-3 times, and then I just walked away a bit, and then I started getting blurry and stuff, and I grabbed like a table or whatever, and then I almost fell to my knees, and then Joe like came running to me. He's like, "You okay? You okay?" And started rubbing my back. He's like, "Come back," and I'm like, and I came back, and I was like, "Whoa, this is freaking scary." And then last night, I had taken the pump again last night, and then I started to read up the side effects of that pump and like the medication and the antibiotics. And that pump, one of the side effects, it's like, please consult your doctor if you get blurry vision, blackouts, and all these like symptoms. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting. So I didn't take the pump today. I said, fuck it, I'm not coughing as much as I was. I'm still taking the antibiotics after I eat, because otherwise I'll have stomach aches and want to vomit. So while all this was happening, Friday night I just felt like vomiting so much. Like I could barely, if I was laying down, I wanted to vomit, and it was just like making me feel really sick. So I had to keep moving. If I was moving, if I was up and working in the garage, I was fine. As soon as like I would stop and just go lay down, I just felt like I wanted to vomit and stuff. So I came in the garage and I worked a bit on the Lexus. So you remember last time we took off the turbocharger, and I had a real hard time trying to figure out if I wanted to go up here on the manifold for the wastegate, or if I wanted to go straight off the turbo like my tuner told me to. Added a second clamp to that rad hose because it was leaking. Well, it was actually loose a bit and it was leaking a bit. This is actually leaking a bit here, so I gotta tighten this up. I'm actually gonna install the oil cooler before the dyno, so gotta get that done. So the ECU, I pulled all the wires that I could. So the ECU connects inside the car by this connector. So what my tuner is gonna do, this is like positives and negatives and stuff and whatever. So what my tuner is gonna do is I think he's gonna like chop it there, and then he's gonna pin in and splice in the Mega Squirt. And he's gonna put it right there, but once I'm done with the dyno and after this year, there's actually a hole right there. I'm gonna drill the hole bigger and get a grommet for it, and I'm gonna pass it through the firewall and put it there, because I don't like having the ECU in the engine bay. It's kind of unnecessary. Yeah, so it's kind of unnecessary having the ECU in the engine bay, and I'd sure maybe waterproof or whatever, but I don't want to risk it. Also, me and Joe, we fabbed up this little fitting. I don't know if we're gonna see it. No, we're definitely not gonna see it. I'll post a picture. For the oil feed to the turbo and the oil pressure gauge, we had the T-fitting. Problem was I couldn't tighten it very much. Because it was eventually it was touching on the oil filter housing and the oil filter, so I was like, okay. So me and Joe, we came up with the solution of machining a piece of hex bar to work, and that's what I used. I also at the same time fitted the power steering pump. This is, I don't know if I'm going to keep it there. It might be temporary. What I might do is I might actually put it in the trunk. For that, I'm gonna have to buy a new Earl's high pressure power steering line. Just the line, the fittings are still good. I remade a shorter line that's maybe goes from the rack all the way up here, so it's like super short. I also bought the fluid for that, and the wiring goes inside the car right now, and it's not wired, but I'm gonna wire it. I'm gonna quickly test it, fill it with oil, and see if it actually works, because it should. Also, we had taken off the clutch pedal because the clutch pedal, it has like these 2 points here, and the firewall was flexing. I made this little bracket here at work, so it will have a bigger surface area to flex on. I decided I was going to go in the exhaust housing manifold for the wastegate. Carl, my tuner, he wanted me to go frontwards, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go backwards, give it a slight angle down, and then have the tile 50 mil going straight up. And you can't really get like a clear 50 mil shot, but since it's coming down from the turbo, and I made it this nice smooth, so it has no choice but to go like down and then whoop into the wastegate. So that's good. Other thing that I did today is cut this 4-inch, because you couldn't put a filter on the turbo housing because it was too close to the timing belt. I cut this 4-piece inch of aluminum. I made nice chamfered. I gave it nice chamfered edges so it's nice and smooth. And let me just place this. So it's 4-inch exterior diameter, and it's really flush with the turbo. And inside it's like perfect. So it looks like it's thick material because it is thick, but so is this. It just has this. So it has this little edge right here. Normally you would put the surge ring in with a snap ring, but no, I mean it's perfect, so I won't need to do anything with that. I still need to get a pipe that's going to go from here all the way up, and yeah, I'm supposed to go see Palmer tomorrow to get the external wastegate welded up and the turbo housing, and then we'll be able to put everything back on the car. Oh, another thing about the turbo housing is it's got this stock hole here. So I cut this piece of stainless steel. I'm just going to drop in there, and then we're going to weld it around. Because the exhaust housing on this, the exhaust housing is actually stainless steel, so it's going to be actually pretty easy for Palmer to weld. I'm going to TIG weld it, so it's going to be nice. So I'm going to work on it more this week. I'm going to try and get it done. I'm going to try and get it done for this week so we can schedule the dyno ASAP, because the time is coming. Once the turbo's back on and the oil cooler is on, then the only thing I'll have to do is wire up the power steering pump, and also make a shifter, because I chopped off the shifter. I didn't like where it was. It was too big. It was like, so I chopped off the shifter, and I'm going to make a new one. Install my clutch pedal. And that's pretty much it. Should be good. Maybe definitely have to give it a front alignment because right now they're both towed in. I gotta measure my caster and fix that. And other than that, then we're gonna pretty much be ready for the dyno and get ready for Hollow Bash. It's October 6th and 7th. It's my birthday. I'm turning 30, and I hope you guys will go down to Shannonville. I'm really hoping the car makes it. If it doesn't, I'm still going because Fred is, and so is Gab and Ryan. We got a special pro drifter coming. And Jacob's supposed to be down there too, so hopefully me and him will be able to get some little tandems going. Actually, a tandem train. Me, Palmer, Joe, Jacob, Sharky, the pro, and then like a bunch of other people. That'd be really fucking sick. Like really close tandems on the wall. That'd be pretty cool. We'll see. I mean, I've barely driven this car in the last couple months, so, and I haven't driven it with so much power, so we'll see how it reacts. I think it should be good. We'll just time will tell. But I think I'm on the right track. I'm gonna have the right power. I'm gonna have the right. I'm gonna have all the stuff to have the car really good and competitive. The only thing is I gotta get more seat time in it, definitely, and we need to dial in the suspension, the brakes, the hydro, all that. We gotta dial everything in. So everything's good to go and you just get comfortable in the car and send it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more videos. We'll be seeing you really soon at Shannonville, and I'll be making another video next week anyways, so stay tuned for that. So peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.